Okay, hello class. My name is Gilberto Davila, and one of the topic that I chose to speak on was mainly racism in businesses during COVID-19. Um, Personally, I live in the Westminster and Garden Grove area, and so I grew up around Little Saigon in the Korean district, and I've had the personal experience of being able to be around the communities like in week 6 when we were introduced to the Vietnamese, and in the 1980s when these communities started coming up like Little Saigon, and they started kind of flourishing not on their own but really from within and then spread across. So why I chose this topic is, like I mentioned, the community around me, but also to show that racism doesn't just hurt the individual but a lot of the businesses that are around us that we may not seem to notice. And then COVID's impact as well on businesses. So there's racism and COVID. So they're not just dealing with one, they're dealing with a double headed, monster in a sense. These are some of the resources that I've chosen. An article, a couple articles that she posted up on our um, Blackboard, and then some social trends, and also just one article from CNN that I did like about xenophobia that was interesting to me. So this is an older statistic, but in April, in the early period of the pandemic, approximately 59% of Chinese restaurants closed, meaning they did seize all their credit cards to prove that they ceased operations. So this, to me, it correlates as well to racism, not just because of COVID, because as our president is seen to call it the Wuhan virus or the Chinese virus, many family owned businesses or small businesses took a dive because of that, because a lot of people didn't want to visit because they want to correlate the virus with the people, which makes no sense to me. So as this is going on, 4 out of 10 Asian American adults receive racism more publicly since the start of the pandemic. That's a big jump. So to me, it kind of seems like, history repeats itself, as the Chinese exclusion of 1882, when the Japanese were ripped from their homes during World War II, as the Germans were blamed for yellow fever, the Irish blamed for cholera, things like that. So I do have a couple of statistics as people act as if they were uncomfortable around them, and this is towards Asian Americans. 27% towards Hispanics, 38% Black, and then 39% Asian. Been subject to slurs or jokes. They're 15% Hispanic, 21% Black, and 31% Asian. Feared someone might threaten or physically attack them, 10% Hispanic, 20% Asian, and 26% Asian. Worry others might be suspicious of them if they wear a mask in public, 23% Hispanic, 36% Asian, and then 42% Black. So the statistic has gone up since the pandemic has started. So this does go to show that we need to be aware of our surroundings, because we're not just hurting these people, we're hurting their businesses. But for me, some of these businesses have been thriving as well. Luckily, we have Little Saigon in the Korean district where they keep going to these businesses. But in other areas where they may open up a business where it's not as impacted as it is here, may not be the same for them. Because as I'm going into a different area, this explains. I might have misspelled the name, I'm sorry, but it's Junies explained that his wife in the article that they were coughed at on a trail, and they were Asian Americans being spat on as well, as they explained what this is similar to African Americans in the 1900s. So, like I said, history repeats itself. And I personally have known people that have dealt with this issue, and it's just something that's unacceptable, and we need to be pushing these people to greatness instead of looking down on them. So I do believe that we can make it a better place. We just need to be aware of our surroundings, help these businesses, help these people. Do not be, what's the word I'm looking for? In a sense, rude to them. Just let's be a community together. Thank you.